like to yield 5 minutes to Mr. Luetkemeyer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Herman, I want to start with you this afternoon. And what are your plans to try and be able to stay competitive with the chain grocery stores that are in your area? You're a mom and pop shop. And we thank you for that, because as a mom and pop shop, you're a whole lot more engaged and supportive of community activities and much more sensitive to the community than a lot of the chain folks. What are your plans to try and stay competitive with your competition and still be able to maintain the quality of service with the number of folks you have and trying to deal with the 30-hour situation? I know some folks deal with like you've got 3 separate stores. They go into 3 separate organizations, 3 separate corporate entities. Some go with more part-time, some temps, some downsize. What are your plans to be able to maintain your stores and compete?
Well, that's a great question. As a successful business operates, they have to make plans. And one thing we look at first with our existing employees is that they're our family. We're a small community, and we're going to take care of them as best we can. Health insurance is a big deal. Now, what we have to look at is our future hiring practices. We may not be able to hire on someone with the potential of being a full-time employee. We may not replace somebody as, we have to do more with a little less. Another thing, too, tough choices, is our part-time employees, we offer 401k after they've been there for a year. We might have to look at, getting rid of 401k, and we have a great 401k program that my father put in place back in the 90s, and we match 100% up to 5% of gross pay. You look at areas like that, and you mentioned the community. As a small businessman, charitable organizations are huge. It's the people that work with us. I'm fortunate to be on a school board, and we have a town that is a Title I district, so we're 50% free and reduced lunch. There's a program called Buddy Pack, and Buddy Pack, unfortunately, has been defunded through ARA, which is another thing. But where it's been funded from is local businesses and churches in the community. Things like that could potentially suffer. So to hope that helps paint the picture there is what we're looking at. But our existing employees, we want to take care of their family. They they used to weigh me on the scale when I was a baby, and they're still there. So it's tough. It's tough, but we want to do the best for our community, and that's what we'll do our best to be successful and stay in business.
Well, Mr. Herman and Mr. Bianco, you guys did build it, and we appreciate what you've done. Mr. Bianco, would you like to answer the same question about how you're going to try and maintain your competitive edge with this Affordable Care Act, trying to squeeze the hours of some of your employees? I know you've got kind of a unique situation there, that a lot of seasonal and part-time employees. Are you going to wind up cutting back some of those hours on some of those part-time folks so you can put more part-time people in there, or what's your plans?
Our competitive advantage is just that. It's us trying to actually change an industry in the moving world. And that's been our mission from day one, is to be a true change agent in that industry. What we are trying to do is offer opportunities for young individuals to get their career start, not just a job start, with our organization, and have each individual work on the trucks, even as young college graduates, to begin their process in their career on our vehicles in the moving world and in the hauling world. With that, we do have a lot of them as part-time workers. If we have to reduce those types of hours that drastically, those quality high-end individuals that we are striving to hire will not be interested in working with us. That prevents us from growing. Our expansion growths and expansion opportunities in 2014 are taking on 3 other cities to provide our services and our job opportunities in 3 other cities throughout this country. It may affect that growth strategy because of the amount of part-time workers we hire in the beginning. With that, will have us draw back on those part-time employees.
One of the things that Mr. Baker said a minute ago, that 2/3 of the people who work part-time want to do that. That means 1/3 of the people are working part-time who don't want to do that. And I think that's the tragedy, and that's the point that we forget about, is those folks who are out there who want to work full-time and can't do that. And this bill is going to force a lot of that to happen. Mr. Bianco, you had a unique comment a minute ago. You said culture is everything. Culture is everything in a small business. Would you like to elaborate on that just a second?
You know, sometimes in a small business, when you are starting out, you do not have the ability to pay the highest wages. And I've always been a believer that it's not about the wages you're paying the employees. It's about the culture and the opportunity you present for them. So our environment is all about culture. It's about providing an opportunity for our employees, for our team members to get a start, to create a vision for them, to give them an opportunity. Many of our employees come as college graduates. However, they've never been given the backing and opportunity for someone to say, you know what, you have an opportunity to create something out of your life. And we find a lot of them, even with 4-year college degrees, that have absolutely no idea where they want to be when they grow up. We've created a culture that drives them to success. I've always believed in success breeds success. And when you have other successful people around you that are striving and aiming for that same goal, it attracts more and better people. So when I say culture is everything, especially when you are 3 years in a startup and having a high amount of demand on a lot of people and not fully capable of paying the higher wages at this point in time, if you don't have culture, you die.
Unique to a small business. Thank you very much for your time this morning, gentlemen, this afternoon, and I appreciate your testimony. With that, I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr.